Do you ever think of something as a kid and then later on in life when you're like, I can't believe that I actually did that, or I got to meet someone that as a kid I would have never thought I could do or get to meet? I had that moment recently in California when I met not one or two, but three billionaires in person. And there's seven lessons that I learned from these individuals that I want to share with you. My name is Christina Crowley Arklie, business coach for high performance women in business, an entrepreneur, mother of three, and speaker, empowering you as business owners to level up in business and in life. Before I get into the seven lessons that I learned from these three billionaires that I met in real life in person, I'd ask that you please hit the subscribe button and like button for this video so more people like you can subscribe to my channel and see this video. I appreciate the support. Now, trying to take you into that room with me back a month ago now in California, where I didn't really know what to expect. It was, high performance business owners and entrepreneurs who were all coming together thanks to Craig Ballantyne. And there were speakers like Bedros Keuilian, Jason Capital, Sharon Shavasana, so many incredible people who were on the agenda and who were speakers. And I had this incredible moment where I was talking to a man, really salt of the earth type human being, looked just like us, wearing a sweater. And we were talking not about what we do in business, but more just like why were we there and what were we hoping to get out of it, and about our family lives. And it wasn't until a day later that someone said to me, like, Christina, how was it talking to that person? Like, were they amazing? And I was like, yeah, why? And they were like, because Christina, like they just sold their company last year. They exited for $2 billion. And I kind of looked at them being like, I didn't know that they were a billionaire, that they were the founder of that company that I use in my business. And I was almost surprised and stunned because this person was just like you and I were. They were a normal human being. And I don't know why, again, I kind of had an aha moment, if you will, or that mindset shift where I was like, you expect them to be different or something because they're a billionaire. And then it turns out that they were just a great human being who, again, just wanted to talk about day-to-day things and not necessarily their business. So it got me thinking about when I came home about the consistent kind of themes that I got from these people after meeting them, feeling so grateful and fortunate for not just only getting the chance to meet them, but to be in their energy and hear their lessons. And these were the seven lessons that I want to share with you today that I took from their talks. So the first lesson I learned was they all had the right mindset. They all approached business with the right mindset in how to go about, not being a victim, in owning their opportunities, their challenges, their failures. And they really did use the right language in talking about their businesses and really in leveling up. They talked about goals, not dreams, which is something that I realized that we as women do a lot. And I'm paying attention to that a lot more. We talk about pursuing our dreams and wanting to, accomplish our dreams. But these individuals talked about goals, and they attached timelines to them and really talked about being action oriented to these timelines, which is why they had 90-day goals or 30-day goals, 90-day goals, and really talked about quarterly goals, because they were always trying to level up with the right mindset and the right language. That was the first lesson I learned. Secondly, they were all really vulnerable and open. Almost I couldn't believe how honest they were being. And it's that honesty, I think, that really, is what allows us to trust someone when they're sharing so much about their journey and their story, both the good and the bad. And I think it's almost the bad things and the hard things and the failures and the challenges that they overcome, which is what makes us relate to humans way more than relating to someone about something great. And we almost question someone when everything just seems too perfect, because we all know that we're all going through things. And I love that. I mean, Bedros Keuilian, his story is one of those profound, raw journeys that I wish everyone could hear in person. I so appreciate how honest he was. And if you ever do get a chance, there's a YouTube video where he's being interviewed by Craig Ballantyne, and also an interview that he does with Ed Millett. I'm sure if you YouTube them, you can find them, where he talks about his journey coming from Armenia to America, and what transpired for him and how he's overcome it. It was truly an incredible message, and I'm so grateful that he shared it with us. But it just, again, really eye-opening how vulnerable, open, honest, and transparent these individuals were. The third lesson I learned was these people all are marketing geniuses. Marketing isn't necessarily their background and what they're absolutely phenomenal at, but they were atop of marketing kind of trends and tools and topics. And I couldn't believe that because I just assumed that these individuals would like, pass that type of stuff off to their chief marketing officers or their marketing executives. But they all were on top of marketing, and they all talked about selling and how important selling is to business. And again, that really opened my mind to a lot. One of the themes that they kept consistently talking about was you can have an incredible product or service, but if you don't sell it or if you can't sell it, then you're not making money. And that's the whole reason why we're in business is ultimately to make money and to, of course, hopefully impact others and legacy and more, which is another lesson we're going to get to. But they all really embraced and harnessed selling, which I left with so much good advice on. The fourth lesson was that they all led their businesses with the customer in mind. Customer service was so important to them, and they really did put the customer at the heart of everything they do. And again, it makes me think about how so much has changed in that landscape in the last 10 to 20 years in business, and think about like value-based marketing and how you put the customer at everything you do. I think it's Sharon who had a line about like enter the conversation in the prospect's mind. Always be thinking about what your customer needs. And these individuals absolutely ran their businesses with that type of mindset about leading the customer having them at the heart of everything they do. The fifth lesson, and one that I think I took the most from and I thought was the most profound, was I couldn't believe how family oriented these individuals were. How they not only had families that they were really proud to talk about and how they were really proud to be dads and how their kids were at home and how they're building businesses for their kids and that legacy piece, but they all had a deeper purpose and meaning and why they were in business. And I think that was refreshing. And it's a good reminder for all of us that, when you hear the word billionaire, you automatically assume a negative connotation. But these individuals proved that they were really incredible, fathers and individuals. And the way that they talked about like wealth accumulation and what they wanted to do with that wealth accumulation, it makes me think about something that I'm really passionate about. And what I want to share more here on my YouTube channel is about like the wealth of women and how the research shows if you give $1 to a woman, what she does with that dollar to transform her family, her community, it's transformative. And so the way that these people were building businesses and then selling their businesses and Xing out of them, but what they were doing with that wealth accumulation to help their communities and help bigger purposes and causes really did open my mind to seeing that these people had a deeper purpose, and I loved it. The sixth lesson that I learned from these individuals was that they were committed to growth and personal development. And I absolutely loved this because, we were all talking about in the room how it was amazing to like look over and see a billionaire taking notes, just like we all were learning from the speakers. And, again, you'd automatically think, well, they already know everything. They don't need to know anymore. But they were proving to us that you're constantly, again, chasing to be a better version of yourself, how we all want to reach, our highest potential, our truest selves. And maybe they're again on that journey of reaching their highest potential. And so they were in a business mastermind taking notes just like you and I would be. And it was really refreshing to see that and know that that is part of the journey, that they were committed to growth. The seventh and final lesson that I learned from these incredible individuals was, I think, being exposed to these type of people, being in that room, a room that I would have never thought when I was a kid that I would have been a part of, little dairy farmer's daughter from Ontario, Canada, that, being exposed to their big ideas and their mindset and the way they approach life and business and that integration that they were all chasing as part of that deeper meaning, their big networks of people that they know and the wealth that they were accumulating to do bigger, better things with. And then sharing their journeys and how honest they were in the failures and the setbacks and how they got back up and they tried again. It made me realize that they're human beings, just like you and I. And that was probably the most profound lesson I took from it, besides lesson number 5 about being family oriented and chasing, kind of a deeper meaning and why. But knowing that they're just like you and I think gave me hope to know that if you and I have the same aspirations and ideas that they do, and we put the same discipline and hunger and mindset around our ideas and our business, ideas, and we chase the same way that they do and really, be action oriented and goal oriented like they are, then maybe one day you and I can be doing exactly what they are. And I think that type of hope is what we all need, especially in times like right now. Reminder that these people are human beings just like you and I are. And that's pretty profound. So I hope you took a lot from the lessons I shared. That one, that these individuals you met, these billionaires I met, that they all had the right mindset, they used the right language, that they were goal oriented. Two, that they were vulnerable and courageously vulnerable, as I kept saying. They were raw and open and honest and transparent with their journeys. Three, that they loved marketing, they stayed atop of all the trends, and that they incorporated selling in everything that they were doing. They focused a lot on it. The fourth lesson, that they put the consumer and the customer at the heart of everything they do. Fifth, they valued family and they operated from a deeper purpose and meaning and a why that drove everything that they did in business and life. The sixth lesson, that they were committed to growth and personal development. I absolutely loved this one. And seven, last but not least, that these people, these billionaires, again, I still think it's crazy to say that word, but I'm saying it, that they were human beings just like you and I. And that, again, if we have that deep hunger, and that we're action oriented and we do the things that a lot of people won't do, chances are, you and I can be in those same rooms, like they are, doing the big crazy stuff that they accomplish. Hopefully you enjoyed these lessons. I can't wait to share more about some of the profound lessons that I learned from my mastermind in California and so much more, especially around that wealth and women idea. But before I run, would love for you to subscribe again to my channel, hit like in this video so we can make sure we see more of each other. In the meantime, hopefully you are leveling up in business and life.